Okay, buckaroos, I'm Dustin Owens, and this is episode 6 of Sunday Singalongs. And on this edition, we are going to cover Death Letter by Sun House, as well as The Setting Sun from the brand new record from my band, Fall Down Trees, Night Terrors. So really excited. This is going to be a little weirder than the last few episodes. Maybe the weirdest episode of this we've done so far. But, you know, it can't all be 3 chords and the truth. Sometimes, well, maybe it is 3 chords and the truth. You just play a slightly different rhythm when you're playing those 3 chords. So if this is the first time you've tuned into Sunday Singalongs, what we do here is we try to show you how to play a song like you were going to sit around and just play it for the fun of it. So not like all the other YouTube videos, not note for note exactly what you want to do. This is kind of how I would teach people a song, like the guys in the band. If I was going to take a song and we were going to play it for the first time at a show, this is kind of how I would show it to them. So I'd say intermediate level, like you should at least halfway know your instrument, but this is a good way to keep playing along until you get there. Kind of my whole thing here is warts and all, right? Like, it's for you to do your interpretation. It's not to be exactly like what you're hearing out there. So I kind of want to just give you the ability to be able to sit down and have a good time. So hopefully you got a cup of coffee here with you. You've got your favorite instrument in front of you. And we'll talk a little bit about the songs. I'll give you a walkthrough, and then we'll play them together. This is, I like to joke that my goal here is to be the Bob Ross of Americana. If you've ever watched The Joy of Painting, this is kind of the same thing here. It's the joy of playing music, right? So it's not about being perfect. It's not about being the best. It's not about being great at your instrument. It's just about expressing yourself and having a really good time. I mentioned that I am singer, songwriter, and guitar player for the band Fall Down Trees. Please go like us, subscribe to us, do all that fun stuff if you want to hear us playing as a band or see me play in other songs even outside of these. There's lots of good stuff there. We're on all the social channels. We have a brand new record out. It's Night Terrors. It's on all of the streaming services and all that stuff. So please go download it, save it, listen to it, put it on your playlist. What we need more than anything are champions. So all of the sharing that you do is greatly appreciated. We're also proud partners with Guttersville Records. So we're an independent collective of artists that all kind of work together to promote and learn from each other and figure out how to navigate the world of music without being a major record label with millions of dollars to throw at it. We've also got a podcast coming up really soon called Does It Make a Sound? So I don't know if the intro's out when this video hits, but it should be pretty soon. So go find us on all of the podcast platforms, and you'll hear more about that on the social channels from Fall Down Trees and from Guttersville Records. All right, that's enough of that stuff. Let's get to the music. We're going to get into the blues again today. And to me, like, that's the perfect style of music for what it is that we're trying to do here on this show. Blues is one of the only styles where you can really sit and like musically improvise solo. And the other thing about the blues is the structures are very simple. The lyrics are usually very simple, repeated lines. Like, there's all this simplicity built into it. But the reason is that it's the performance that matters the most and what you do with the song creatively. And so blues is all about interpretation in that way. And so you can be the best musicians in the world, but if you get up there and you just play it straight and you play it clean, it's gonna suck. So it lends itself to people that aren't the greatest guitar players, aren't the greatest singers, to be creative and like really be able to put themselves into the music. And so to me, that's why the blues is just so much fun to play. And then the other thing is, it's self-expression, it's emotion, it's guts. Like, how much of your soul can you put into the music and push to other people through these simple chords and through these simple lyrics. It is a style that thrives on individuality, uniqueness, expression, all of these things that I think are the most fun parts of music and the most important parts of music. So this song is by Sun House, and what you're going to hear in my version that I'm going to play, it's going to be a little different, like the phrasing of the lyrics, the rhythm is a little different from the way Sun House does it. God, I wish I could sing like that. Like, holy cow, man, what a voice. I'm not going to get there, I promise. But we don't have to, right? We just have to get as much of us in there as we possibly can. The White Stripes also do a really cool version of this song, and I'd say my riff, even though it's not exactly like the White Stripes riff either, is probably a little closer to what they're doing, because Sunhouse is playing with the slide and open tunings, and it's his whole thing. So I'm probably a little closer to the White Stripes here, and maybe lyrically too. I don't really remember, but there are tons of versions of this song floating around. But go listen to Sunhouse, do it if you never have, because it's an absolute experience. But that's part of blues, once again. Where you get into trouble is if you do like a Led Zeppelin thing where you come up with your own interpretation and then claim that you wrote the song. So don't do that. I'm not claiming that I wrote this tune at all. We're going to play it in the key of G or maybe G minor. I'm going to kind of focus on power chords here. So instead of playing a G chord like this, and you still could if you can get the rhythm right, I'm going to play it where I'm playing the bass note, the 1 is a G, and then I'm also going to play the 5, which for a G chord is a D. So you're really like, these are the 2 notes that are most important. All right, and that technically is suspended, right? So it's the 3 that either gives it a major or a minor sound or a feel. And in this, if you don't play a 3 at all, you just play the 1 and the 5, the G and the D. It's not defined by major or minor, I guess you could say. I am going to throw my finger down here though, and I'm going to kind of define it, but I'm still in my head. What I'm doing is I'm just thickening up a power chord for the acoustic guitar. So I'm going to play it here, and then the chords are going to be a C. You're playing it the exact same way, the exact same shape, and a D. 1, 4, 5. That's all there is to it. So where the real fun comes in is the rhythm, and it's got sort of this chunky feel to it. All right. So what that little riff is I'm throwing my pinky down, and I'm going to consistently do that 1, 2, 3 frets up from the 1, from the G, right? So it would be just like if I was doing it on the low string. Which sounds pretty freaking cool too, if you ask me. Hammering on that 3, or I guess it's a flat 3, I think that's what they call a blue note, right? Like that's what gives it that sort of raunchiness that is so amazing. And you'll hear that like in Bill Monroe's mandolin playing too, right? Like it's across all styles of music, but I think it is probably the blue note, I guess. I think that's what they call it. All right, so anyway. Then we're going to hit that C. Back up. Then that D, and a walk down. So that's pretty much it, right? That's the blues. You just got to get the feel. You got to get the groove. Whatever instrument you're playing, you can leave it suspended or give it a little bit of a minor or a little blues-like scale flair to it. Play that flat third as much as you want to, and you want to give it a little ass, and you got the blues. Another thing that's really fun in this song, though, is because of that rhythm and the space that's in there, it also opens you up for lead breaks. And especially on guitar, this is particularly fun, but if you were doing it on the mandolin, it would be really fun too. So you're going to hit that riff, and then you can dive into some hammer-ons and pull-offs. Playing in G, you have this advantage that it's not just your regular sort of pentatonic scale, but these 2 open strings are also in key when you're playing in G, so you can make yourself sound a lot faster than you really are and add some nice flavor to it. So something like that, so you just throw those little licks in there, feel it in your guts, and you're going to be good to go. All right, let's dive in. I got a letter this morning. What do you reckon it read? Said, hurry, hurry. The gal you love is dead. I got a letter this morning. What do you reckon it read? Said, hurry, hurry. Yeah, you love is dead. Packed up my suitcase, took off down the road. By the time I got there, she was lying on the cooling board. Packed my suitcase, took off down the road. By the time I got there, she was lying on the cooling board. Take a break. Well, I walked right up, looked right in her face. Next time I see you, gal, it's gonna be on the judgment day. I walk right up and look right in her face. Next time I see you, gal, it's gonna be on the judgment day. Didn't feel so bad until that evening sun went down. Didn't have nobody to wrap my loving arms around. Didn't feel so bad till the evening sun went down. Didn't have nobody to wrap my loving arms around. Didn't have nobody to wrap my loving arms around. Death Letter. You can have a lot of fun with that, man. From the Great Sun House. So, I think it could be argued that blues have influenced everything that came after them. Just about any style of music you're going to hear is going to have a little bit of that in there somewhere. They'll say blues and country music had a baby and they named it rock and roll. I don't know whose quote that is, but if you haven't spent time like digging back through old blues records, think about it like watching an old movie. If that's the sort of thing that you like it's not going to be the same kind of listening experience as listening to pop music on the radio or even any kind of modern music, like even like indie rock and stuff. Like it's different. Like you're transported into another time. If you go back and listen to 20s, 30s, 40s era, like Delta blues, acoustic blues, if you can get yourself in the right headspace, and going into the summer is a great time to do it. It's good summertime music. It strikes a chord that nothing else does. And I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, and it can be difficult to listen to because of the sound recording quality and just the exoticness of it all, I guess, even for somebody that grew up in the South. Like, just, it's wild, but highly recommend it. All right, so next up is going to be The Setting Sun from Night Terrors, Fall Down Trees, most recent album. It's the band I'm in. I wrote the song. So I wrote this a long time ago, and in the podcast that we're doing coming up, Does It Make a Sound? This is what we're going to do in the first series. We're going to go episode by episode, and we're going to play you like old demos of the songs, we're going to cut up and let you hear like pieces that got cut out of the record, things like that. But we'll also talk about the writing and the recording. So I'm not going to go too deep into it here. But it is a tune I kind of wrote not long after my grandpa died, and kind of thinking about that situation. It's a dark and it's a heavy tune, but it is on the record. It may be my favorite. Like it it's got a nice groove and a nice feel to it, but it also sort of brings in some of the weirder, more out there elements. And it's definitely an emotionally heavy song too, and there's lots of the blues in it. So the song essentially has 3 parts. It's got a verse, it's got a chorus, and then there's a little bridge like jam thing. Pork Chop says that I write songs with movements, is how he puts it. And this one definitely has it there in the middle. So we'll walk you through each piece. Actually, I guess there are going to be 4 parts because there's an intro too. So the intro is going to be an E minor and a G and an E minor. So once again, there's that, like implementing that flat third. I'm doing it as a chord like this go around too, but that's in there. And then there's like a little pull up, but you could play it pretty simply just along with me here. So that's your intro piece. The main like part of the song and the main riff is going to be this little like upstrummed. It's almost got like a disco feel or something, like the hit on the backbeat. So I'm playing an E minor chord, just like that, right? And then I'm going to hit a 5 with one of those power chords we were talking about earlier. Well, I guess this is technically a minor chord, but I'm only hitting the top 3 strings. Like that, coming off the 5 chord. So in this instance, it would be an A. Play a little faster than that when I get into the song. And then the 4th time you do it, you're actually going to hit flat 6. So you're going to go up 1 half step from the A, from the 5. So this is the 5, and then the last time. There's some weirdness for you, right? I love it, man. I love the jangliness of it. I'm not bragging on myself. It's just like I stumbled on it, like I found it, and I was like, oh man, this is great. All right, and then for the chorus, it's going to be a succession of power chords. So it's going to start on that E minor. Never thought I'd G be the one. C had to tell. B setting sun. A didn't know this place. G F sharp. E minor. And those are all power chords with the 3rd, like minor chords, I guess, but only 3 strings. All right, so that's the chorus. The last part of the song is going to be a little finger pick piece. I'm going to take it. I'm not going to show you the whole thing. But for you, it's essentially an A minor. And then an E minor. Alright. And then when we get ready to move, it's going to go E minor to a B7. And then it's going to play this weird little walk up. So that goes F, F sharp, G. So there's those weird little walk-ups. But mainly you can stick in the A minor and the E minor and throw that B in there, and you'll be able to keep up with me. All right, let's dive in. Ancient soul, slow decay of all the senses led astray. Rat once memorized amazing solid after he went blind. They made alterations to the walls, but from the start the rat was lost. Stranger in familiar halls, wandering till he lost his mind. The setting sun, he didn't know his place in the sky. The philosopher once told a tale of those that tried and those that failed. Someone asked him which prevailed. He said it ended in a tie. They asked him to compose a scene where all the world would then succeed. Said the tide it must recede if you ever wanna see it rise. Never thought I'd be the one that had to tell the setting sun he didn't know his place in the sky. Tried to earn his trust. Now they bicker, fight, and fuss about what they'll get once he's dead. They tell him when to shit and when to wake and where to sleep and what to take. And the little boy steals his cake and hides and eats it beneath his bed. Never thought I'd be the one, had to tell the setting sun he didn't know his place in the sky. Alright, that's The Setting Sun from the brand new record from Fall Down Trees, Night Terrors. It's on the second side somewhere. Go check it out. Alright, so as I was playing that, I did feel kind of bad because I think I made a comment earlier like, oh, this is going to be too hard to show you, just let me do it. That's the opposite of what this show's about. So I'm just going to show it to you now because it's not that hard. None of it's really that hard. And you can do it your own way too. So why would I not just show it to you? So anyway, when we go to that bridge, what I do is everything is just with my thumb, an A or an E. So I'm going to play a little bit in an A minor scale, like that, while I'm playing that A. Alright, so I'll go into it. And then I just finger pick an E minor, hitting that, plucking, and hitting that bass. And then the last time I do it, I do the same thing with the B7. And then there's a little 3-note riff, like that, which is the F sharp, or F, F sharp, G. The second time I go through and do it, after I go through that part, that's when the little walk down comes in. Like that. Once again, just falling down an A minor scale. And then playing that E minor chord. So that's pretty much how it goes. Alright, so this has been episode 6 of Sunday Singalongs. I'm Dustin Owens. I appreciate you following along, playing along with me here today. remember to go follow all the Fall Down Trees pages on the social channels. Go watch some of the other YouTube videos and stuff that we have on Facebook and Instagram. Go listen to Night Terrors on all the major streaming services right now. We're a part of Guttersville Records. GuttersvilleRecords.com has lots of cool stuff. Albums coming out from a lot of our label mates. Chroma Combs has got a new one out. Neon Dijon's have an EP coming up real soon. So find Guttersville on all the social channels. New podcast coming up soon. Does It Make a Sound? Where we're going to break down all the songs from Night Terrors. Lots of fun stuff going on. So please check it all out. We really appreciate your support. And we'll see you next time for the next edition of Sunday Singalongs.